Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little DIY on how I make my handmade manga books. Sadly, I don't get to work on them as often, but I have gotten a lot of, comments on this, like how do you make them, where do you get your books, etc. So it's no secret, but at the same time, everyone has kind of been wanting to know, and this is just how I did it. I've been doing this since I was in elementary school, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I will show you a little bit. This is one of my recents, but you can even tell like it's kind of, the art style has changed since then as well. But before I continue on with this, I wanted to also show you guys some of my very old, when I say old, I mean very old, handmade books as well. This was made in middle school, and what I did, I actually was very fond, very fascinated by trying to get it, to look published and everything. So I actually, let me get it to focus. I dated it and I said all rights reserved from ages 17 and up, etc. I was a weird kid, but this is the first page and it's called Death, just Death, which is funny because I have another book called Eternal Death. So kind of weird that I was, not going to talk about that, but here's the little character log, and as you can see, the art has definitely changed since then. I was, what, 12, 13, 14, around that age, I don't know. And even though that's not super young, at the same time, art changes over time. For me, for some reason, it changes every couple of months, but back then I was a lot more creative. Sadly, I'm not as creative as I used to be, and I don't have as much time, but looking back at it is really interesting. I was thinking about remaking it, and to any of you who actually would like to see that, please let me know if I should remake it. Here's a little summary on what it's about, if you want to look at this and pause it. So you can pause that and read it if you want, just to know what it's about, because it's kind of a little bit too much to explain. But yeah, this is so old, and I find it so fascinating. I gave it to one of my friends, and it's falling apart, but I gave it to one of my friends in middle school, and she still had it, so I remembered it, I was thinking about it recently, and I really wanted to see them, and I'm glad I did, because yeah, now I wanted to show it for a YouTube video. But here's the second one, Death Will Find You. It's actually a little story about that. I was coloring this and I accidentally made like I guess too dark of a mark right here, so I ended up making it say that, so it kind of like, didn't look weird, if that made any sense at all. But yeah, here's the second one. I would always do the whole all rights reserved, made in the USA. That's so freaking cringe, but it was always my dream to get published, and it still is. Honestly, it hasn't changed. I have many dreams, but my biggest one, and that hasn't changed since I was a kid, is to become an author and a manga creator. So yeah. I'm going to quickly flip through this, but you get the general idea. It's really, really bad. And my sister got a hold of this too and scribbled in it. She always tore me to pieces. I would also leave little, what do you call these? Like little side panels where the author kind of talks to you and rambles. But see, it's always been my dream to get a series all the way to volume 20, which I never got to do that, but it is what it is. One day I will get there probably. But enough of that. I did want to, do a longer walkthrough, but we would not have enough time for that, sadly. So let me get right on to the little tutorial on how you can make yours, and yeah. So when you first get yours, it'll look like this. It'll actually have a little sticker down here, I think, I'm pretty sure. Sometimes it will be illuminated, you just, take it off. But I think these just come with a little sticker and you take that off as well. But this is kind of old. It's got a little bit of dirt on it. I don't know what it is. I started working on Midnight Shadows in this one, but it did not get very far. So it's still very empty. And I think the purpose of it, is just to be a sketchbook for art class or something. But I took advantage of the fact that it was put in the position, or, Like, it was put in the design of a book, I guess. Pages are actually kind of thick though, but at the same time they're very loose and it's very nice. But once you get that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out a piece of paper, you know, from your sketchbook if you have one. And then you're going to take your little book, you're gonna put it down, you're gonna turn this hot dog style, I think that's what that's called, horizontally. And then you're gonna put it down right here, and you just turn it over like that. And it is almost a perfect fit for the most part, but sometimes you have to get it in position. And if sometimes you need to cut off some of it because it's a little bit, you know, too long, then that's fine. But once you do that, you know, sketch your cover, do your little spine thing. I'd always put like, actually, this one I started to do it on. I wrote the name of the title, do the back, and then you color it. And then once you color it, all you gotta do is you gotta open it up. And I prefer a glue stick. I don't recommend like the Elmer's glue, like, you know, the sloppy, slimy. I recommend a glue stick, of course. You do that, put it over, you know, smash it down, and then it looks pretty good, but you're not even done yet. Well, this is optional, I guess, but then that's when you would come in and tape it or laminate it. But I did not have access to that, so I would just manually tape it. And that is it. Once you do that, you open it up and you start drawing. And yeah, I recommend a ruler, of course, but that's all you can really do for a handmade manga book. But yep, I should actually start working on this one now that I've got it ready. But yep, that is it for that. I wanted to show you guys a little bit more of my very old ones, because why not? I have access to them and I thought it'd be really cool. This is the third one, and once again, I would always do this little thing right here. And for some reason, I'd always put like a little character log, which is really neat, actually. Her name was Akira Oshima, his name was Kiyoshi, her name was Mikoto. They all had very unique little traits to them, which is another reason why I want to remake it. If I'm not mistaken, his name is Akio. I'm actually very bad at pronouncing Japanese names. Kiko or Keiko, I think it's Kiko. Toru, Kunoichi, Taruma, I don't know. Kyoko, Kei, or Kai. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm very bad at it. And then Darwin. He's actually not Japanese though. But yeah, very interesting. I've been saying that a lot, but it's just so cool looking at it. To think I had this much dedication. I was actually inspired by a lot of people. This part really actually kind of funny. But yeah, I have been trying to do this one on, well, you know, digitally, and I want to make it come to life pretty much. Like, I want to put it on Webtoon to where people can read it for free. But the only thing about that is it takes a lot of time and dedication, because what I do is I open it up and then I take a picture of this, for example, like a page like that, and then I go over it again, line art it, color it, and then put the text in. So it's kind of hard and it takes quite a while. But I've been thinking about doing that because that would be really cool to see my manga basically come to life and, you know, have a little fan base if anyone actually enjoyed it. If any of you actually watch it and you're still here, please let me know if you would like to see that, because, you know, everyone loves support, and the more people, you know, that say they want to see it, the more I would be inspired to do it. But the last one is this one, and this is the fourth one. That's how far I got. Unfortunately, I did not even finish it. It's like halfway finished. The last one was made in 2014. So I started in 2012 and ended 2014. So it took 2 years just to make 4. I would make this much longer, but, you know, again, that would take too long. So if any of you actually want to see it, please comment below and I will do that. Well, that is pretty much about it for this video. I would make it longer, but every time I try to upload a video on this particular phone, it takes hours to upload if it's over 10 minutes. So I will end it here. But before I do that, actually, one more thing. I wanted to show you guys this. I'm really glad I did this because I'm looking back at it and it brings back so much memories. But this was a reenactment of the Civil War. I was on the Confederate, which unfortunately loses, but I was right here. The whole goal was to kind of look mad, depressed, you know. It was a war. And I actually drew on like a fake little mustache. You can kind of see it. But yeah, I'm really, really glad I actually did that. And then people signed it because I didn't have a yearbook. So this was actually my way of getting people to sign my book. And so I did a little fan art. But again, that is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope it was somewhat useful to those who really wanted to see it. Please, and this is optional again, but if any of you are active on Instagram, please, 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 just give me a look, a glance even. My username is Impractical Artist. I will leave the link to that in the description. But I do often lose motivation because all of my followers there are inactive. I don't get any, well, I do have a couple people that are constantly active, so those people I'm very grateful for. But I've been working on it for a couple years and it seems to be getting nowhere. I know it takes time, but for some reason mine is taking its sweet time. And I often get depressed, and I know it's kind of silly, but you know, as an artist on Instagram, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to get commissions open, but no one will commission me. I don't know why, but I make them pretty cheap. Not that I'm saying anyone else out there is like super expensive, but you know, like a basic one is just $5, which is really, really cheap considering what people do charge you. But enough ramble about that as well. You don't even have to do that, just as long as you check me out. That would mean the world to me. But if you want to also give me a look-see on Patreon, you can donate $2 a month, gain access to all my early releases and whatnot. And if I do become a webtoon creator, you will see all of this stuff there first. But that is it for this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video here very soon. I really want to start becoming more active. So that is all for this video. I will see you guys next time. Peace.